Hey guys, this is Joe with that hashtag newsfeed. Joining me this week, filling in for Jessica, is
Daniel.
And today, we have some Daredevil Season 3 news. Let's get to it! Now that The Defenders has come out, Netflix is hard at work at putting together their next season for their Marvel lineup. And today, we're going to be talking about Daredevil Season 3.
That's right. We've obtained a new character being introduced, codenamed, what else but Steve. Now, Steve is between 28 and 35, around 6 feet tall, and open ethnicity. He's athletic, but socially awkward, and needs structure. He's resourceful and has a temper, but he will be a series regular.
This is a very interesting breakdown for a character who seems to be an antagonist for Matt during Season 3. Now, there's an interesting parallel to Matt at work with this character and what appears to be another character who might be working both sides of the law and battling with an inner darkness.
Well, while it's only speculation on our part, we're guessing that Steve is doing some vigilante work of his own. Only unlike Matt's work, Steve might be leaving a trail of bodies.
Now, without spoiling anything for The Defenders, some interviews with the cast members hint to the adaptation of Frank Miller's Born Again story arc in Season 3.
Now, Matt's Catholicism has been a major point of focus throughout the first 2 seasons, and The Defenders, and a Born Again adaptation would certainly expand on that.
Now, given the deep Catholic symbolism present in the story, Matt's inner conflict with his own demons, and a bit of the info we have from the character breakdown, we settled on a very interesting guess for who Steve might be.
Steve's Stanley Carter, aka Sin Eater. Before we go too far, let's address the biggest obstacle about Steve being Stanley Carter. He first appeared in the issue 107 of Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Now, that being said, it's important to point out a couple things here. The live action rights have always been a little confusing. Like, Kingpin has also first appeared in the Spidey comics, but his rights have always been with Daredevil. Even if Sony did have the rights to the Sin Eater, if they have no plans to use him, then it's fair game for Marvel on the television side of things.
Additionally, Marvel and Sony really seem to be playing together very well as of late, and this could be a bit of a trade-off for Sony in return for having Dominique Fortune and Roxxon Corp appear in Silver and Black.
So how does he fit in? How does the Sin Eater fit into Daredevil Season 3? Well, in the comics, Stanley Carter is a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who underwent an experimental treatment with the PCP-like substance to increase his strength and stamina to near superhuman levels.
Deeming the project too dangerous, S.H.I.E.L.D. called it off, and Carter, upset with the slight, left the agency to work for NYPD.
Now, while there, Carter became disillusioned after his partner was murdered and set out to take justice into his own hands, just like a good vigilante would do. Carter dons on the mask, arms himself with a shotgun, and begins a murdering spree, which his victims are all people of power who have sinned by abusing their authority. Can anybody say Kingpin?
Ooh. Well, lawyers, judges, priests, and even his own captain and lover, Jean DeWolf, are all targeted and murdered. The DeWolf story is a well-known Spider-Man arc, but again, if Sony isn't using it, Marvel TV could come in and adapt it.
Given the importance of Father Lantom in Matt's life and his knowledge of Matt's alter ego, he would be an interesting setup for a target for Sin Eater, and one that would obviously bring both of Matt's lives into play at once. Something that's been happening more and more throughout his story arc.
Now, while the story might seem a little too close to the way that the Punisher was used in Season 2, the type of people that the Sin Eater would target would bring this much closer to home for Daredevil, as many of his friends and colleagues like Lantom, Mahoney, even Foggy could find themselves as targets.
Now, this is just our best guess for the Sin Eater. We don't know who this is, but who do you think Steve is? Leave a message in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching. We have new videos premiering all week long. You are
Daniel,
and we can find you at
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, that's right, and I am Joe. You can find me at that hashtag Joe. You can also check me out at screenrant.com. But that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching, and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.